I don't know. It's happened before to someone else too. She just logged out and logged in.
Oh, sometimes, yeah, that would be probably good advice.
Yeah. Gosh, try singing again. Oh my goodness, sorry, everyone. We'll see if she can go out and in. Or she can just watch the movement. And then I'll have to really be clear in her body. It'd be a good lesson. Yeah. She's not logging all the way out. She's just turning her video off and on.
That's not the same.
No, it's not the same. That's not it. I'll let you figure it out. Let her figure that out. And we'll do some yoga. So let's start lying down. I'm going to turn the overhead lights off and just everyone lie down on your back. Take the load off the spine and the body. That's it. It feels so good just to give yourself that, like, you know, gravitational break. Your legs relax, your arms relax, relax your neck, your head. Tune into your breath here. There you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not bad.
All right, we're going to start lying down on your back.
Okay.
Notice your breath, the ebb and flow. Maybe try to elongate each inhale and each exhale, just a small amount. Here, you're just gonna, it's gonna be very easeful. So you're not looking for the biggest stretch here, just an easy stretch through the side body. So you'll take your left foot and slide it to the left, maybe towards the edge of the mat. Not too far. It's like right here, not too far. And then cross the right leg over the left on top. So keep both sides of the pelvis on the mat. So Gracie, bring that, yeah, and straight legs, both legs straight. And then if you don't feel anything, you can uncross and wiggle a little farther to the left, but you're in a side bend. And then you can take the right arm overhead and maybe even scoot the shoulders to the left. So let the arm rest at the floor if you can. And you can even take the left hand overhead and circle the right wrist to give a little help into that side stretch shape. And if that's too much on the shoulders, you don't have to have the arms overhead. And just breathe into the right side of the body from the outer edge of the armpit to the outer hip and thigh. Just imagine them like ironing out any rough or tight or bumpy spots. Invite the breath in and gently let it go. We'll stay there in that shape for 2 more breaths. Complete that full second breath. You'll ease your way back to the middle and just pause for a moment. Just kind of notice the different feelings or sensations from side to side. And then as you feel ready, we'll go to the other side. So slide the right leg to the right, maybe to the edge of the mat or off the edge, cross the left leg over if that's comfortable. They don't have to, it can touch. Left arm maybe overhead. You can even wiggle the shoulders to the right. So you're more in that crescent shape. And then the right arm can come up and catch the left wrist. So you go into that side bend. If that doesn't feel good on the shoulders, or the shoulders are having a tough time relaxing, you can take the arms out of it. You can cactus the arms instead, or just not include them. Those nice, deep, slow, steady breaths into and out of your nose. Letting both sides of the pelvis stay grounded. Gently release that, just stretch back to the midline, long through the arms, long through the legs, long through the waist. And then you'll bend the knees and set the feet down flat to the floor, arms by your side, and we'll do some coordinated bridge and arm movement. So you'll inhale, lift the hips, float the arms all the way overhead till they land on the floor. If they reach, and then on your exhale, lower down slowly, letting the hands or arms and pelvis rest at the floor. And then do that several more times. So inhale, lift, reach overhead, exhale, lower. So nice and controlled. Inhale and lift. Really focus on coordinating the movement and the breath. Exhale and lower. There's a lot that your mind can focus on here. Inhale, lift, finding the strength and power in the legs, fluid movement through the arms. Exhale and lower, trying to get the arms and the pelvis to land at the same time. Keep it going at your own pace, your own breath. Looking for imbalance. Notice if you have a dominant leg or dominant side, and try to press more into the other side. I know for me, I use my left leg way more than my right. And sometimes if I really focus and press into that right leg, it's like, oh, I didn't even know I could use that. But just notice those little imbalances and working towards creating and cultivating balance. Keep moving, a few more of these. Just really warming up the whole body in this very easeful way. I watched this great podcast, or listened to this great podcast this morning about the general imbalances of Western yoga and how there's so much, the chaturanga and the front body stuff. And so really doing more back bends, more work through the back side of the body helps to really create that, keep that balance through the body. One more time. When you feel complete, finish that last round, just rest, arms at the floor, pelvis on the floor. Just notice your breath. Notice how your body feels as you're starting to awaken. And then from here, we'll draw the right knee up into the chest, interlace your hands behind the hamstring, and then straighten and bend that leg a couple times. And you're welcome to flex the foot as you bend the knee and point the toe as you straighten to kind of floss that sciatic nerve. Yeah, again, that's when the knee bends, you flex. When the leg straightens, you point. And not going to the most extreme stretch here. Again, just the idea of movement as medicine, as lubrication for the joints and the muscles. This practice will be a lot around like hydrating the tissues and moving the lymph today. Couple more rounds of these. Bend and straighten. Not looking for that huge stretch here, just kind of moderate. Next time you bend the knee, you'll pause there and bring your hands around to the front of the shin and give a little squeeze in, a little compression, and then extend the left leg out long and really find a reach through that bottom leg. So you might even press down through the back of that left heel or the back of the thigh. Just hold and breathe in this position, pelvis neutral for 3, 2, just slow, deep breaths. And then slide that left foot back flat to the floor, set the right foot down next to the left. Switch sides, so pick up the left foot, interlace your hands behind the hamstring. Knee bends and flex the foot, straighten the leg, point the toes, and move back and forth. And it can be like, it doesn't have to be super slow, doesn't have to be super fast, just kind of this medium pace, finding a rhythm. It can be with your breath if you like, or just breathing naturally and letting the body move and warm up. Notice if there's any rough patches. Now 10 more seconds on this side. Good job. Good, and then bend the knee, and you'll interlace your hands now in front of the shin to give that compression to the front of the thigh. So squeeze the thigh in and then slide the left leg out long. And you'll press the, or sorry, right leg out long. Press the back of the right heel and the back of the thigh down. So those are two different things. When the thigh goes down, the heel lifts up, but when you press the heel down simultaneously, you're working both sides of that right leg. So that right leg is active. So try to press the back of the thigh down and the back of the heel down. There's the hamstring strength, which builds resilience. Last breath here. And then gently bend the right knee, bring the foot flat, so slide it in, set the left foot down next to the right. Take the feet a little wider apart and let the knees just gently move side to side like windshield wipers. Really moving in this way from the top of the femur bone, so way up in that hip socket, getting into those hip, deep hip muscles, internal and external rotation. Good, and then bring it back to center. You'll gather the knees up into your chest, give a gentle squeeze. Take your arms overhead at the floor and then roll to the right side. So just roll over and use your left hand to press yourself up. We're going to come to a comfortable cross-legged seat. If you want to sit up on a block, you can, or a blanket. You have blankets and towels. Good. And then right here, you'll take your arms, reach them up tall, and then we're going to twist to the right. So I'm not mirroring you. So I'm going to go to my right, you go to your right, and then let the arms fall. So the right hand will be behind you. The left hand can be to the outer thigh. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you gently twist. And then notice if you're trying to lead with your chin, which is kind of a default action in a lot of our bodies. So pull the chin back slightly to lengthen up through the whole back side of the body. And then you'll gently unwind and you'll take your left hand to the left and right arm to the sky. And then you can bend the left elbow as you gently find this side stretch. And a possibility here, if the legs don't like cross-legged, is you can take a leg out or both legs out. You gently lean to the side. Good, now listen carefully. So from here, we did this yesterday. We're gonna practice it again, those of you that were here. You're gonna take the outside of that right armpit and rib cage towards the floor. So you're gonna just roll down slightly. And then bend the elbow like a cactus and roll open. Try to open the chest towards the ceiling. And then again, roll down, wrap the arm, pinky finger down, and then roll open, pulling the elbow and shoulder back. One more time. I'm gonna roll it down, working these rotations in the side plane, and then open it up, stay here, and extend the arm by the ear. Just really get into the side body. Good, and then you'll just press yourself back up. Notice. Good, how are we feeling? Okay, switch the cross of your legs if you want, if you can, or if you're more comfortable legs out, this is a possibility too. Okay, so if your knees and hips need to be a different position, do that. And then we're gonna twist to the left. So you're gonna bring, okay, let's go up first, sorry. Inhale, reach, and then twist to the left, let the arms fall. You got it, good, Nancy. Oh, there you are. It's all right, it's good. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, gently revolve, and it's not from the chin. Lift through the heart. If you'd like to close your eyes so your attention goes inward, it's fine. If you disappear into that inner world, sometimes it's nice to open the eyes and stay out here. Good, and then slowly unwind. And then we'll go to the right. So right hand to the right, go that way. And the left arm comes up and over. You gently push into that right hand to keep the left hip rooted down. And then we'll rotate. So pinky down, outer edge of the armpit down, look down towards the right side of your mat. And then bend the elbow and open up, pull the shoulder head back. Rotate towards the ceiling, and then the opposite. Rotate rib cage towards the floor, and then rotate rib cage towards the ceiling. One more time. Rotate it down, wrapping the outer edge of the left armpit down, bend the elbow and cactus the arm open through the chest. Then extend the arm over by the ear, really lengthening into that left side of the body, and then gently come up. Good. Now we'll come on to hands and knees. I love that feeling. It's like so interesting. That was part of the balancing of the body. Sometimes we're more in this forward plane, so it's nice to go sideways. Okay. Coming to hands and knees. If you want to pad the knees, I brought some little pads over. Do you want one, Gigi?
No.
Okay. So from hands and knees, you'll drop the belly, lift the chest, and take that gaze to the ceiling, cow pose. And then exhale, moving the opposite way into cat. A couple more of those, warming up the spine, that beautiful back bend, and then arching and stretching between the shoulder blades and the low back. One more time, inhale. Good, exhale. We'll come to a neutral tabletop. And we're just going to bring the right leg around. So I tend to move my right hand to the middle of the mat and then step it forward. But if you need to help it there, you can help it there. And then your hands can stay on the inside or move to the outside or up onto a block. So you choose, a block or two. Tuck the left toes under and lift that back leg. Kind of slide it back a little bit. We're kind of getting into the hips. Good, Dee. And if it doesn't want to lift, you don't have to let it lift. Good, Nancy. That nice strong back leg. Good, Janice. Bend your right knee a little deeper, Gracie. Good. Okay, great. Now you'll set the back knee down. Point the toes, lift the chest as the hips drop forward. And then our intention with this one, you're going to try to keep your belly close to your thigh as you pull the hips back. So the leg may or may not straighten, and then come forward. So the idea is that your torso is kind of connected to the thigh, and your hands can be on either side of the foot or on the inside like mine is. You go forward and back several times, trying to keep the belly or the side of the body connected to that thigh. Good. Let's do that one more time. And pulling back, try to extend the spine, extend the leg, best of your ability. And then you'll rebend that right knee and pivot the left shin to the right and come up like that. Good. And then we'll bring the left forearm to the left thigh and the, right forearm to right thigh, left arm up and over. Good. I'm going to turn the way you're facing. Once I lose rights and lefts, it's like gone. Okay, so from here, then you'll come up and we're just switch arms. So left arm goes down, right arm goes up. So you're moving, yeah, like a reverse warrior. And then come forward, forearm to thigh, left arm overhead. You can also reach lower to the floor, come up and go the opposite way. So the hand's not touching the ground, just reaching more upward than down. One more time, come forward and open. And then going the opposite way. Good. And then bringing it back down, you'll bring your hands to the inside of the right foot. pivot the left shin back and tuck the toes, lift again. So you're in that long lunge and your hands can absolutely be up on a block. If that doesn't want to lift, it's okay to keep it down. Okay. Now press into the left hand and you're going to open the right arm up towards the ceiling and then draw some big circles with the right arm. It goes back, down, forward, and up. And if that back leg needs to be down, you can drop it. Okay. Anytime. One more big circle, just circling through the shoulder and the rib cage. And then bring your hands back down, back knee down. Bring the right leg back. And we'll sit back in child's pose. So knees wide, big toes touch, hips to heels, and rest. Gently come back up to tabletop and we'll begin from the beginning again. Cow and cat. Drop the belly, lift the chest, inhale. Tuck the tail, arch the back, push the floor away. 2 more like that. Inhale. Michael, exhale. 1 more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Come to neutral. Maybe you bring a block under the hands that brings the floor up a little bit, and then bring that left leg around to the front. I have 2 blocks also. I have plenty if you want. Okay, tuck the back toes under. If you can, straighten that back leg and slide it back a little bit and lower the pelvis and breathe. So with the back leg, you want to lift the right hamstring towards the ceiling. Yes. And then press the hips towards the ground. Oh, good. Okay, set the back knee down, point the toes. Now here's that moving with the chest close to the thigh. So inhale here, exhale, pull the hips back, try and keep the chest or belly close to the thigh. Come forward and back a few times. That idea of kind of keeping the torso and that left thigh as one. The left leg doesn't have to straighten. It's not about straightening. It's about lubricating, hydrating, moving, getting those lymph highways to flow better, which is the waste removal system in our body, one of the many. But that's of the muscles. And the connective tissue, just kind of feel in a couple more rounds of these. Not looking for the biggest stretch, just looking for some gentle movement. Good, and then you'll pull it back, pivot the right shin underneath you, and come up. So your pelvis is facing that side of the room, right? So we're trying to square the pelvis towards the mirrors, and then bring the left forearm to the left thigh and the right arm overhead. And then we'll come up, reach the right hand down and the left arm up. You have to use a little strength. Bring it back forward. Try to keep that left leg so stable. So you're hugging the muscles into the bone so the knee doesn't move at all. So stable. You're actually strengthening your glute on that left side. A couple more, just easy movement side to side. Good job. Let's take 1 more in each direction. Then you'll bring it back down, hands to the ground. So if you have a block, you might bring it under your right hand or both. Pivot the right shin back, tuck the toes, lift that leg if it's possible. So hamstring towards the ceiling, hips towards the floor, twist to the left. Take that left arm up and then big circles. Reach it back, down, forward, and up, trying to revolve through the rib cage, through the shoulder. It's okay to have the back knee down. It's okay to have the fingertips on the shoulder. So you have a shorter lever if the shoulder's funky. Good, Dee Dee. Yes. All right, bring it, hands down, back knee down. Carefully bring the left leg back and sit back into child's pose. Checking in. So come forward here with your forearms on the mat. So forearms are going to stay down. And then you're just going to kind of slide or crawl the legs back and reach the chest back and heart space melts down. So it's a variation of puppy pose. The shoulder opener. The gentle back bend for that upper back. Try to keep some connection or pressure down into the palms. So the more you press down, the more integrated the shoulders will be. Melt the heart space. This is called Anahata Asana. It's called puppy pose, but it's a heart opener. Anahata is heart. Heart center. And then you'll come on up and walk your hands underneath you, tuck the toes under. We're going to press up to our feet. So if you need to use a block to do that, it's a nice way to kind of press up to the feet and then back into a forward fold. You can hang on to your elbow points here as you add a small sway or rock from side to side. Or little front to back movement. Or hands can stay on the blocks if you need. Maybe consider keeping the chest or torso close to the thighs. See if you can find that connection. Good. From here, just gently bend your knees, roll yourself up to stand. I'm going to take the arms up as if you're holding a big beach ball. So nice round, soft shoulders, and then lean to the left. So you'll take the body to the left like you're handing that beach ball to the left, opening that right side body again. And then bring it back to center and to the other side. Really press down into that left leg, using the strength in the side body to hold you. And then bring it back to center, big breath in, and then float the arms down by your side. Good. And then we'll walk up to the middle of the mat and we'll turn to face that wall. So turn to face at home, you can face either direction that you want. So facing the long edge of the mat, and then step your feet apart, not super wide, just semi-wide. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Bring your arms up to cactus, so elbows bent. Bend the knees into a goddess squat. So you want to just kind of nudge the knees back as you lower the pelvis. Good, Michael. Keep bending the knees and lifting the chest and breathing here. Hold for 5. Maybe you go a little deeper or little pulses. I like little up and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs, arms float down, turn the heels out, and then hands to the hips, lift up into the chest and bow forward. So wide leg forward fold. Good, and then you'll bring your hands to the floor or onto a block. So the block lifts the floor up a little bit. So it could be a nice, you want it stable. And you'll press your left hand down into the block or the floor. And we're going to take a twist to the right. The right arm goes up towards the ceiling. And if it's too much on the shoulder, you just bend the elbow. So fingertips to the shoulder help you rotate from the rib cage rather than from the rotator cuff. And then bring it down. We'll switch hands. Right arm down, open the left. It's fine to have, fingers on the shoulder or arm to the sky. And if the arm feels stuck, try bending the elbow. and try to turn through the rib cage. Yeah, you can cactus the arm or touch the fingers to the shoulder. Good, and then bring it back to center and just bow down. Let the head drop. Bow forward if the block's there. Maybe your head rests in the block. Good, Gracie. And you'll lift up to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips. Rise all the way to stand. Now turn the right toes to the right. And we'll bend the knee, open the arms, warrior two. Good, and then flip the right palm up, reverse your warrior, take it back. And then straighten the right leg, bring it forward into triangle. You'll bring the right hand to the shin, left arm to the sky, both legs relatively straight. Good, bend the right knee. You're gonna bring the left hand to the ground inside the right foot. So either on a block or to the ground, pick the left heel up, twist open to the right. Good. Yep, bring the right hand down, step the left foot part way up your mat and straighten the right leg, pyramid pose, folding over that front leg. It's okay to be high up on a block, right? It's okay to have a bend in the right knee. One way to build hamstring resilience here is to try to drag the front leg back. Get that little like hugging in. Good. Walk yourself around to the left. Turn your heels in and toes out. Bend your knees. Lift up into goddess squat. Good job. Nudge the knees back, hips down, chest lifted, little pulses if you like. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs, arms float down, turn the heels out, toes in, hands on the hips, lift up into the heart, and bow forward. So bring your hands to the floor or to a block. You'll lift to a flat back. Right hand to the center first this time. Twist open to the left. So maybe your hands on the shoulder, right? Maybe the elbows in cactus or big extension through that arm. Set the right hand down, twist open to the left. So nice flat back, elevated spine, belly pulls in. You're trying to revolve through the rib cage, keeping belly button and hip points towards the floor.
I accidentally did the other side.
That's okay.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
Bring the right hand down and then bow forward. Drop the head, relax the arms, take a breath or two. Then lift to a flat back, bring your hands to your hips, rise up, left toes turn left, bend the left knee, warrior two, open the arms. Sink the pelvis down, expand across the chest and upper back. Flip the left palm up, reverse your warrior, right hand down the right leg, go back. Good, straighten the left leg, come forward into triangle. Reach the left hand down, it can rest at the knee, right arm to the sky. Triangle pose. Janice, open to the right. Yeah, good, you got it. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be super deep. Sometimes higher, you actually feel more core body having to work. So from here, you'll bend the left knee. We're coming into our lunge. Bring the right hand down and be on fingertips on the floor or a block. Lift the right heel, twist to the left. Or lunge, or lunge twist. And then left hand down, pyramid pose. Step the right foot in a little bit, straighten-ish the left leg, and fold over it. One way to build that resilience, not just the flexibility, the combination, flexibility and strength, is by pulling that left foot back, like you're trying to slide it back. as you lengthen forward. Good, lift up partway. You'll walk it around to the right. And then turn the heels in, toes out, bend the knees. You guessed it, goddess squat. Come on up. Little pulses for 5, 4, 3, maybe go a little deeper each time, 2, and 1. Stand up, relax the arms down, feet to parallel, and then we'll just step the feet together. I'm just standing in mountain pose. You can still face the long edge of the mat. All right, good. And then we'll turn to face forward and walk up towards the front. And big breath in as if you're holding that beach ball. Inhale, exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. And step back to a high plank or kneeling. You can be kneeling plank, high plank, or tabletop. Let's just hold this for a little bit. Think about working equally through the front side and back side of the body. So use your legs, not just upper body. Press down into the fingertips. Soften a little between the shoulder blades. Lift the jawbone towards the neck to lengthen the back of the neck. Last couple seconds here. You're doing amazing. And then from here, we'll lower all the way down onto the mat. Good. Bring your arms down by your sides, palms facing the ground, and then lift up into locust. So you'll lift your arms, your legs, your shoulders, and straighten the elbows so that you tone the triceps, straighten the legs, so you tone the hamstrings and the glutes, and then lower it down. You can flip the hands, the backs of the hands rest, and turn a cheek to the floor. Relax everything. We're going to do this 3 more times. But when you're ready, you'll look down, flip the palms to the ground, inhale, lift up. Breathe through the nose. And then lower down, flip the hand, turn your other cheek to the floor and relax. And then again, look down, palms down. Inhale, up you come. Good. Just think about the back side of the body, toning, strengthening, and supporting you. And lower down, flip the hands and rest. One, looking down, palms down. Inhale, lift up. Since you know this is the last one, you give it a little extra effort. Straight arms, straight legs, lift both ends an inch higher, and then release down and rest. Bring your gaze down to the mat, hands under your shoulders, press up to hands and knees. And then you're going to walk the knees up the mat a little bit and stand up onto the shins. We'll do one more back bend here. So you can tuck the toes under if you like. That gives you a little bit more access, or the feet can be pointed. So hands are going to come to the sacrum or to the hips, and you press the tailbone down. So it's like the tailbone goes down and the front rim of the pelvis comes up, and then shoulders back. And you're in your pose. This is called camel. If you want it to get a little bigger, you keep pressing the hips forward, lifting the chest up. So you can keep your chin to your chest, or maybe you reach for your heels. So you can catch your heels, and it's okay to rock back to catch the heels, and then press the hips forward, chest up, and possibly drop the head back. This is a great one for this, the quadriceps, for the strength and lengthening of the quadriceps, toning the back of the body, and then float yourself up. Pause here, relax the arms, shoulders, jaw. We're gonna do one more. So reconnect. So hands to hips or sacrum, press the tailbone down. You can squeeze your glutes, hips forward, shoulders back, elbows squeeze back, and then start to press the hips forward more. Lift the heart as you lean back. Maybe reach back for your heels, and then hips forward, chest up, head can drop, hold and breathe. Float your way up. Good, and then we're gonna come down to a seat. Nice easy seat on your mat. So swing the feet around. You'll take the legs out and let the legs move in and out, in and out. Good. And the legs can stay. So we're gonna do a move into a forward fold here. So it can look like a bunch of different things. It can be feet together, which is the biggest stretch on the hamstrings. It can be feet a little wider apart, which gives a little more ease to it. Or your feet can go wide apart, working a little more into the inner edge of the hamstrings and the inner thighs. So you choose kind of where you want it to be. And then we're gonna make this easy. So it's not gonna be super hard. So wherever you are, kind of walk the sitting bones back and then just lean forward till you start to feel a gentle stretch. Doesn't need to be the biggest and most intense. And we're gonna hold this about a minute. At any point you feel like, oh, I just want to go deeper, you can go a little deeper, but let your body tell you, not your mind. Often it's our head that says it has to look a certain way or be a certain way for the pose to be effective, and it doesn't. More about the state of feeling and noticing. Squeezing in, maybe you slide down a little more. Your hands slowly and gently ease your way up. Your legs are wide, you'll bend the knees, bring them together, and we're gonna lay down on our backs. So you can scoot to the middle of the mat if you like. And you take a supine, actually, let's do this first. We're gonna come back to where we started. So on your back, stretch your legs out long, and then slide the left foot to the left and cross the right leg on top. Good. So keeping the back of both hips on the mat. You can take your arms overhead or right arm up and maybe wiggle the shoulders a couple times to the left. And hold on to the right wrist with the left hand. And if that doesn't feel good on your shoulders, change something or you can do it differently. And we're just like ironing out any kinks, bumps, rough or Velcro-y patches on that right side. in a very gentle and easeful manner. When you're on your back, the spine has less load, less weight on it, so it can have some rest. The muscles that hold us upright can relax. I was saying at the beginning of class, that I spent so many years teaching looking to the left. So for me in this pose, even though the right side is lengthening, my awareness is totally on how tight the left side of my body still is. That's all I can feel here. So it's interesting how we have these habitual patterns and holding in our body. Something I'm still really working on is how to take the emphasis off that left side that had to do a lot more. And there's nothing to do about those things. If you discover stuff, just know there's nothing to do about it right here. It's just creating that beautiful space of awareness and listening. And it's like being guided by intuition. You'll know if there's something to do. All right, we're going to gently ease to the other side. So as you're ready, you'll just come back through center and notice. And then when you feel ready, you can wiggle it out a little bit. You'll slide the right leg to the right, maybe even off the mat. Left leg will cross on top. You might wiggle the shoulders to the right if you can. Left arm can reach overhead so you get a little more up into the outer armpit area, the outside of the shoulder. You can catch the left wrist with the right index finger and thumb. If that doesn't work on your shoulder, just do something different with your arm. So this style of pose, it's about muscling less. So it's not with muscular effort. You're affecting the body with the shape that you're in and with gravity helping and with time. So it's not about doing. It's not about muscling or muscular efforting to create a shift or change or have an effect on the body. There's still some energy being output though in the stretching of the fascia. So there's still energy output. And one of the beautiful things that I've learned about this style of practice is when you release the pose, there's this instant like hydration of the tissue, like water comes in and it helps to create more of a looser feeling to the tight areas, but it's not just instantly. The effect lasts for 3 hours after a 1-minute stretch. So your body will continually replenish. And if you think about like tissue that's dehydrated, right, it's dry and brittle. So we bring in the hydration to create glide and movement to help waste removal from the cells, to help everything talk and connect better. All right, you're going to very gently ease back to the center. Take a moment here to feel that kind of rushing in, that feeling. You'll feel it like a fuller feeling, or just I don't know how to describe it. Good, and then right here, you'll just gently bend your knees and kind of rock the pelvis a little bit side to side, over the sacrum, little movement. And then we're going to do one final twist here. So you'll take the knees to the left, and then I'm going to let you decide. It could be staggered, keeping the knees staggered as they fall, or you can bring the right leg over to stack on the left and take the knees a little higher. It'll bring the stretch up more. You can hold on to the right leg with the left hand. Bless you.
Thanks.
You can extend the right arm out. So you choose the shape that feels best for this final twist. As you're ready, you'll just gently make your way to the other side. And it might be different on this side. You might prefer the legs staggered or stacked. Or you can explore straightening that top leg and holding on to it for a little more of an IT band outer hip stretch. And gently come back onto your back. Take any final movement, just rocking or movement, or putting some clothes on, whatever you need, and then sliding your way out into your resting posture, into Shavasana. You need any support under the knees, blocks under the knees, or blanket if you have one. Always like when we begin class and end class the same. Just stay on your back. Yeah, whatever you need. Shavasana, you get to rest, but whatever you need. People are just putting clothes on. It's cold.
It is.
I always love that when we begin class and end class kind of in the same position, whether it's Shavasana or seated, you really notice a difference. And the story goes that the yoga postures were actually created out of a desire to be able to achieve greater states of meditation and connection to the divine. That the postures took place before meditation in order to move stagnant energy, to move through restlessness, to work the body in a way that you can find that place of relaxation with more ease. By layer, allowing the body to relax. Focus on cultivating an even inhale and exhale. for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4. Your own count. That feels easy by breathing in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 5. Slowly trying to elongate your exhale, breathing in for 4, maybe breathing out for 6. The pace that feels soothing to you. Following the breath or counting the breath, and just let your breath be natural. Or kind of bring you back. Come back to your body. Move your fingers and toes, just slowly coming back. Take a deep breath in and a sigh. Moving in the energy you want to get out. And we'll begin to bend your knees and carefully roll over to a comfortable side. Come up to a seated posture. I'm going to take 1 minute here. You land. Finding a place you can sit for a moment. If you need to stretch a leg out, you can. And then you'll bring the fingertips to touch, palms apart, like you're holding a little golden ball in your hand. Let the hands rest somewhere in your lap, fingertips touching. Just for 1 minute, bring attention to where the tips of your fingers touch. Feeling the energy or the pulse between the hands and the sensation of the tips of the fingers lightly touching. Wander, if your mind wanders, just gently guide it back to the sensation of the tips of the fingers and the space between the palms. Palms of your hands all the way together. Touch the thumbs to the heart space. Lift your thumbs to your forehead center. Have a beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day. Debbie, I'm glad it worked. You're muted. I can't hear you now. Here, let me see. I think you have to unmute yourself. I don't think I can do that.
No.
There you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having to use my cell phone, which is tiny, compared to like, I want to use my iPad, but it hasn't been working for me.
I think my mom had that problem. I'll have to ask her what she did because she got it to work and there was some setting that she didn't have right. So
Oh.
let me ask her. She might know.
Okay, yeah, it wants me to put in the ID for the Zoom meeting and all that sort of thing. I think.
Right,
So, you know, but I don't have to do that on my phone.
right. You just click and go. So let's see if we can figure that out. But I'm glad
Okay.
you made it. You seem to follow along just fine.
Yeah, oh yeah, I heard you just fine. Yeah,
All right, take care.
if once we ironed out our difficulties.
I
Thank
know,
you
I know. All
for
right.
being
bye.
patient. It's appreciated.
Yeah, my pleasure.